Allah Akbar. Allah.
On March 28, 2025, a powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake violently struck central Myanmar, also known as Burma, leaving behind a trail of destruction and heartbreak. The epicenter was located near the city of Mandalay, one of the country's most important urban centers. The quake hit in the early hours of the morning, while most people were still asleep. The impact was devastating. As of the night of March 30th, Myanmar authorities have confirmed 1,644 deaths, more than 3,400 injuries, and close to 300 people still missing. These numbers are expected to rise as rescue teams reach remote areas and continue clearing the rubble. In Mandalay, entire buildings collapsed, bridges were rendered unusable, and streets split open.
There's an earthquake.
Images circulating on social media show homes reduced to dust, overwhelmed hospitals, and citizens digging with their bare hands in desperate attempts to rescue loved ones. The disaster wasn't confined to Myanmar. In Thailand, the quake was felt strongly, causing a building under construction in Bangkok to collapse. 17 people were killed, and 32 others were injured. Underscoring the regional scale of the catastrophe. Since the initial quake, the country has experienced over a dozen aftershocks. The strongest one, recorded just minutes after the main tremor, had a magnitude of 6.7. It caused further damage to already weakened structures and triggered widespread panic among survivors. The latest aftershock, a 5.1 magnitude quake, struck again near Mandalay on March 30th. While no deaths were reported this time, fragile buildings already on the verge of collapse were brought down. Local seismological authorities have warned that aftershocks could continue for several weeks. Residents have been urged to stay away from structurally damaged buildings and to follow instructions from emergency services. Amid the chaos, Myanmar's ruling military junta declared a state of emergency in 6 regions. The army has been deployed to lead search and rescue efforts and distribute humanitarian aid. However, the ongoing civil war, which began in 2021, has seriously hampered rescue operations. In areas controlled by resistance forces, aid teams have been unable to enter due to safety concerns. The United Nations and various NGOs have already begun mobilizing resources to support the Burmese population. However, destroyed roads and the collapse of communication networks are making it extremely difficult to deliver food, medicine, and emergency personnel. Satellite images reveal entire villages wiped out, with hundreds of square kilometers left without electricity or access to clean water. Many families are completely cut off, waiting to be rescued, or at least contacted. The situation is especially dire in rural areas, where buildings are more fragile and hospitals poorly equipped. In many places, schools are being used as makeshift shelters, lacking even basic hygiene conditions. Authorities have warned of a high risk of disease outbreaks, particularly due to stagnant water and limited medical care. There are also growing fears of a food crisis if supply chains are not restored soon. The Southeast Asian Seismological Center has released a special report suggesting that the Myanmar earthquake may be part of a larger series of tectonic shifts in the region. In recent hours, minor tremors have been recorded in Laos, India, and northern Thailand. Despite the fear, the spirit of solidarity has been remarkable. Young people, the elderly, monks, and volunteers have come together for rescue efforts. Many risked their lives entering collapsed buildings, hoping to save someone trapped inside. The quake lasted approximately 49 seconds, but to many, it felt like an eternity. That short span of time was enough to completely transform the urban and rural landscape of Mandalay and surrounding regions. The violent shaking cracked the ground, caused massive landslides, and left millions without power.
Earthquake.
Preliminary data from local authorities and aid agencies estimate that over 75,000 homes were either partially or completely destroyed across the country. Many were made of adobe or brick without structural reinforcement, especially in rural areas where families live with limited resources. In Mandalay, more than 30% of public buildings are now unusable. Schools, hospitals, and temples have either collapsed or suffered severe damage. The local airport was forced to shut down for 24 hours due to cracks on the runway, delaying the arrival of emergency assistance. Immediately after the quake, thousands fled their homes barefoot and in pajamas, seeking open spaces. In the darkness and chaos, many gathered in parks, sports fields, and public squares, fearing more aftershocks. Videos on social media captured scenes of people crying, praying together, and shouting for help. During those first hours, neighbors organized themselves to rescue the trapped. They used shovels, planks, ropes, and their bare hands. Some young people improvised stretchers from doors or tarps to carry the injured to the few medical centers still operating. Amid all the sorrow, there were also moments of hope. Babies pulled out alive, elderly people rescued to applause, and emotional reunions under a cloud of dust and tears.
Well, sharing my time.